Yo, RX back with another recap of UFC Vegas 100, Prates versus Magny. We back with another recap of a card that was cracked the knuckles. Is that interesting? It was really good. I'm not bullshitting you. It was, I would say, borderline great. I thought it was an 8 out of 10. I'm not trying to be funny. I thought it was a really great card. What was it? I think 8 finishes in 11 fights. A few knockouts. They were not just mainly submissions like they usually are. Only 3 decisions. Though and I would say only one of those decision fights were actually bad. The only 2 fights I think on the card were not great. So I thought it was really good. One of the best Apex cards in maybe all year. Sorry if that was loud. I should have fucking blew out the right side of my mouth because the mic is to my left. Yeah, I think it might have been the best Apex card all year. It was it was arena level. I really enjoyed it. Like, I'm not even joking. I have like a few fights in, the card was like, we had only finishes for like the first 5 fights, and like 3 fights in, I was like, what is this? What am I feeling? Why am I enjoying this? Excitement? I don't know what these are. I've not felt these in fucking years, it feels like. So I'm pleasantly surprised, because this is a card I did not think was amazing. I thought it was okay. Like, I feel like I probably was one of the few people who actually did not think it sucked. So I thought it was fine, and on paper and in execution, I thought it was great. Borderline great. 8 out of 10. Like I said, an Apex card getting that high, it's been a rarity. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was very fun, and I'm excited to recap it. So I guess enough rambling about it, because I could keep going for a while because it was that good. But I think it'd be better to get this recap going, since it's probably gonna be long, since a lot of finishes to talk about, a lot of fight ideas to give, and a lot of rambling to do. So enough yapping. Let's get into this recap. Before I do, please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of the year. Can we hit 100 like the Apex hit 100? No? Okay. Either way, I don't care. I do this for fun. I hope you enjoy it. Let's recap some fights. You ready? I'm ready. Let's do it. 11 fights. Yes, I did break down 12 fights. Yes, we did lose a fight on weigh-in day. We lost Ricky Torcios and Bernardo Sopai. Torcios had a medical issue after the weigh-ins, and that got pulled. It sucks, but it happens. We've seen it happen many times just this year. Jung Young Park and fucking Brad Tavares, etc., etc. So, yeah, it sucks. Losing 3 fights during the week and only one of them was able to be saved is lame, but it clearly didn't hurt the card too bad, since we still got a card that I thought was good. Really good. So, it happens. It sucks. Hopefully we can get that fight rebooked, because I want to see Sopai back, and Ricky's always good to see. So, let's get that rebooked, and let's begin this recap. As we begin in the women's bantamweight division with a fight that was on paper a question mark, since we did not know how good one of these fighters were. And now looking back on it, it was okay, and at least it was finished. As in our first fight of the night in the women's bantamweight division, we began the night with Melissa Mullins versus Klaudia Syguła. Well, I'll answer the question I asked in the breakdown, and that was, is Syguła good? No, she's fucking awful. they somehow found a fighter worse than Melissa Mullins to fight Melissa Mullins. Accomplishment. The long and short of this fight, round 1, was that a close round? I'm trying to remember that round. I really don't remember. I think Mullins did a little more. I think she had a takedown late to steal it to take the round. I don't remember that. I literally don't remember round 1 too much, but it does seem like, if I remember correctly, it did end with Mullins getting a takedown. So good for her there. She took round 1 on every scorecard you can find. So I do agree with that. And then round 2, she got a takedown right away because Syguła can't stop a takedown to save her life. And Mullins eventually flattened her out when she turned to her stomach. Some ground and pound with her left hand because she was holding Syguła's arm with her right hand. Not grabbing her glove, it was just holding it down at like the wrist area, which is legal and actually very creative. And a little more ground and pound after that. 1 minute 20 in, it was over. Melissa Mullins by ground and pound TKO to begin the night. At least it was a finish. I don't really have much else good to say about it. I think they both suck. And I'm being nice saying I think I know one of them sucks, and I just watched the debut of the other, so yeah, I don't really have much positive to say, if anything at all. I think they both are terrible. Just the one fighter was a little more of a fighter, had a little more in their toolbox, and that was Mullins. So, are either of these two good? No. Are they UFC level? No. Like, again, the most positive thing I can come away for this fight is at least it was a finish. And I guess that holding the arm thing was pretty creative. Outside of that, sorry, I have nothing. So, about the fight overall, I have nothing to say, so at least it was a finish. To talk about the fighters, for Melissa Mullins, again, she sucks. 2-1 now in the UFC, but back-to-back weight misses. Great job there. And her 2 wins are against 2 bottom-of-the-barrel fighters, with Syguła, who, again, sucks, and Irina Alkasheva, who is not a world beater by any means. She's not terrible, but she's not a world beater, and we won't see her again till next year because she got suspended. So yeah, so her 2 wins are a suspended fighter and a short notice can, and her 1 loss is to Nora, who's coming off a loss. And so, but Nora's actually decent. So yeah, but this is just women's bantamweight. No one's good. You can beat her, but you'll lose to her who beat her. No one's good. Like, the best fighter in this division is fucking Kayla Harrison, who looked mid as shit against shitty Ketlin Veta. Norman Dumont, who no one fucking talks about. Like, Pena's a joke. Pennington sucks. Fucking Holly Holmes is still fucking alive somehow. Ketlin Veta, people have fucking had high in the rankings forever when she's terrible. I just don't really get it. I truly just don't. One bantamweight's fucking terrible, and Melissa Mullins is just another fucking byproduct of that. She was in the top 15 at one point off. It's that easy to get in the top 15 off your fucking debut. Fucking, she's terrible. She can't really strike. She has a decent ground game, but outside of that, she has no heart. We saw that in the Nora fight where she just quit. She has fucking no her cardio's not good. Like, she's just not a good fighter, and when she fights someone decent again, like when she fought Nora, she's gonna lose. So it's that simple. I can't put it in much simpler terms, so I don't know what else you want me to say. Mullins is trash. I don't know. That's all I got. Cool finish. That's it. To talk about Syguła, she's fucking terrible. Just another fucking IG model. Like, go back to Instagram, bitch. You fucking suck. I don't know what else to say. She'll be cut within a year if she fights anytime soon again. She's terrible. Again, just an IG model. Can't fight for shit. And besides that, I guess the only thing left I gotta say is, who should they fight next? For Melissa Mullins, there's not many other options outside of the fucking, top 15. She's fought 3 of them now. Like, and again, women's bantamweight's not deep. There's not a lot of fighters. All of these fighters you see right now are not in Cowan. Cowan's the first fighter in the UFC that you've seen. She's fucking pathetic. Gone, never somehow ranked, suspended. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to fight her, to beat her on the regional scene. I don't know what the fuck she is doing. Just retired. Who the Cavalcanti just got ranked. I was about to ask who got that 15th ranking when Jermaine retired. It was Cavalcanti, who actually deserves it, so. For Mullins though, who could she fight? Obviously not a ranked fighter. Jocelyn Edwards, meh. Lisboa, I don't really get that point. Rematch Daria, eh. Gatto, I don't even know what Gatto's doing, to be honest. Josie, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm down to see them rebook the Rondon fight. It makes sense. It makes sense. They're like, cause who else would Mullins fight? Like, Josie Nunez, eh. Gatto, I don't hate, cause that was my fight idea for Gatto after she beat, Vidal. Or a Zalesniakova rematch, I don't really care for. Lisboa probably smashes her. I don't know why Lisboa would take that fight. She could easily fight fucking Julia Aguilera, Jocelyn Edwards, which gets her closer to the rankings. Then yeah, probably rebook Tanya, Mullins, and Rendon. Just probably makes the most sense. I don't know who else you would ever fight. Like, again, the other options are very... I just really don't. I don't really see the point. So, Mansur Rendon rebooks that fight. Another 6-1 fighter makes sense in my opinion. Why not? If it's that simple, why not? It was booked before. They're both very inexperienced fighters. Fuck, I'd take Rendon to win that fight. I think she's better than Mullins. And, yeah, I think that fight probably makes the most sense. I just don't really think the other options for Mullins are jumping out the page, so. Yeah, not very much else to say there. Besides that, good win for Mullins, I guess. Nice finish. First finish in the UFC, I'll give her that. Aside of that, Syguła's trash. And, who should Mullins fight next? Rendon probably would make the most sense. In my opinion, I'm down to see that get rebooked. And, yeah, not very much else to say about this fight. Cool finish. Only positive about the fight. Besides that, they both suck. Fine way to begin the night, at least, because it was a finish. A finish can make any fight good, even if they both suck. Speaking of that, logic, our second fight of the night proves that as well. As in our second fight of the night, moving up to the middleweight division, we have a can versus can battle for the ages that was very quick and very funny at the same time. As in our second fight of the night, in the middleweight division, we had Tresean Gore versus Antonio Trócoli. Well, I don't even need to bring up scorecards here because it didn't go more than 90 seconds. Didn't go over 90 seconds. So they did a little bit of striking. Gore took him down with fucking ease with a nice double leg. And then he locked in his standing guillotine, which he's getting really good at. And Trócoli tapped out in a minute 23 seconds. Tresean Gore's back. Got a nice guillotine. Elizeu wins in the finish. But it's actually a nice submission. A very nice submission by Gore. same one he got friend with 2 years ago. They both suck, but good submission by Tresean against a bigger dude. The ability to lock in that guillotine, standing, which is becoming his fucking thing. That's a nice weapon to have. Like a standing guillotine, we don't see that often because it's not fucking easy, and he has done it twice now in back-to-back fights. So, good for him. Not much else to say about the fight. It was 1 minute 23 seconds, a takedown, a guillotine later, and it's over. So, a nice win for Tresean Gore in his return. As good of a win as you can get. I think he should have got a bonus. I think he earned it more than a few others. So, but whatever. The nice win, keeps his job, and a nice comeback win. So, yeah. After that, not very much else to say about the fight, so let's go to our second part of the recap, the fighters. And we'll start with Tresean Gore. As I've already pretty much said what I've had to say. Good comeback win. Yes, he's been fighting the bottom of the barrel, like maybe the two worst middleweights on the roster, in Frem and Trócoli. Frem literally has been cut since that fight, and Trócoli is about to get cut. So, yeah, Gore's not good, but he looks good here. But I still think he probably has the same problems. Can he fucking fight deep into a fight? We've only seen him go past round 1, or go deep into a fight one time in the UFC fight out against Bryan Battle, where he lost. But no, there's no problem there, Bryan Battle, it's just him. How does he do against adversity? We saw that in the Brundage fight, not very well since he got knocked the fuck out. So, I still think he's the same green fighter he has been, but he has a nice guillotine. We know he's very fucking strong. Like, he's not a big dude, but he's jacked. We know why he hits hard. So, like, but outside of hitting hard and a nice standing guillotine, what are you worried about with him? Take him deep. Pause. Like, he's a very green fighter. He's 5-2 at 30 years old. So, I like, nice win here. Again, you're better than Antonio Trócoli and Josh Frem, but outside of that, like, he's probably gonna get a step up in competition now, and it's gonna be hard not to fade him. Because against better fighters, I just don't think Tresean has what it takes to beat him. His best career win is what? Gilbert Urbina, who is beyond below average. So, yeah, I just don't know what else to really say about Gore. Good, you looked good in your return, but outside of that, it's Antonio Trócoli. Yeah, I can only give you so much flowers. So, yeah. And then to talk about Mr. Dern himself, yeah, this dude's fucking horrendous. But the one thing I will say, how shit is Shara? Tresean Gore needed less than 90 seconds. Shara needed 3 rounds. What? If the only thing this fight really proved is Shara is awful, which I've been saying. Tresean Gore is better than Shara. Who would have fucking thunk it? Yeah, Shara sucks. That's all this fight really proved. But it also proved Antonio Trócoli is fucking horrendous. Your girlfriend Mackenzie Dern, one of the best grapplers in the UFC, you're fucking 5 inches taller than this dude, and you get standing guillotine in 90 seconds. You're fucking Brazilian, you don't know how to grapple. Out of a standing guillotine, you have 5 submission wins yourself, you dumb fuck. Yeah, he's terrible. And the funny thing, he has all the looks of a fighter. He's 6'5", he's good shape, he's a fucking intimidating dude. And he's fucking awful. He's fucking terrible. So, it just cut him. Like, 0-2 now. Shara with one thing, short notice, flying around the world, the new hot commodity in Shara, did a decent job, etc., etc. You come back a few months later and get subbed by Tresean Gore in 30 seconds, and under 90 seconds. You're fucking terrible. You never should be signed to begin with since you popped for fucking everything on a Contender Series. So that's why his win got overturned. He popped for everything under the under the goddamn sun on Contender Series, so I don't know. So just go back to being just go be Mackenzie Dern's boyfriend, because that's all you're gonna be known for. You can't fight. If they do give you another fight, you're gonna lose. So, and they can't give you anyone worse. You lost to Tresean Gore. How much worse can you get? So, cut Trócoli. He's fucking terrible. And, yeah, he has the look. He has none of the talent. That simple. Only thing I have to say now is, who should they fight next for Tresean Gore? I'm not going to put a lot of effort into this. If I can't find a fight idea, I can't find a fight idea. It's Tresean Gore. I could give a fuck who he fights, but I'll still look, since it was a nice win. He did look good. Yeah, I think who's even still on the roster around this level? AJ Dobson, maybe? They did try and book that fight before. Abu Azaitar might still be on the roster. I say not being very sure. Where the fuck is he ranked? There he is. Duško is always an option. Fucking Ihor Potieria is always an option. Well, I think we're getting too high for his fucking standards. They'll probably lose to anyone in this area, so. But, yeah, I guess, like, if Abu Azaitar is still on the roster, AJ Dobson, Duško, always an option. None of those, Ihor, but I would just stop at Ihor. Anyone higher than that, it's a no-go. Maybe Julian Marquez, that would be a really fun fight if he's still on the roster. Outside of that, not really seeing much. So, many of those options, just another lower level guy, because if you give Gore anyone with talent, he has no chance, so it's that simple. So, and again, cut Trócoli, he can go fight in front of 6 people in fucking Brazil. So, yeah. Outside of that, not very much else to say. Good win for Tresean. Looked really good in his return, even for as short as it was versus a complete tomato can. Still a nice win, and who should he fight next? A lot of lower level options. Abu Azaitar, AJ Dobson, Ihor Potieria, any of the options seem like any of those work, so yeah. Outside of that, not very much else to say. Good win for Gore, good comeback for Gore, and Trócoli just stick to being Mackenzie Dern's boyfriend for now. Might not last much longer. After that, we head to our third fight of the night and our first bonus of the night, even though I think Gore should have got one. And then our third fight of the night, another first round submission. In the bantamweight division, we had Stamann Blackshear versus Cody Stamann. Yeah, this fight was pretty predictable. Stamann was the better striker. He landed a beautiful flying knee halfway through the round that really hurt Cody. He beat him up on the feet a little bit. Eventually Cody shot in. Stamann got on his back after some scrambles and locked in a rear naked choke. Tap, tap, tap. Over. Long and short of it, like, a little more happened. Like, actually, not really. He hurt him. He beat him up. He shot. Some scrambles. Rear naked choke. Yeah, about all that happened in a 4.5 minute fight. There's not much else that could happen. So, yeah, pretty quick, simple fight. When you got a guy who's well-rounded versus a guy who can only wrestle, this is probably gonna be the outcome you get. So, I don't think anyone's that surprised. Pretty simple, quick fight. Yeah, it's as simple as that. I can't really say much else. 4.5 minutes. Rocked him. Shoot. Submission. Simple. Not much else I can really add. Good quick fight. I can't complain. Fuck, I won't complain about first round finishes after not seeing any all year. So, yeah, I'll take what I can get. Besides that, not very much else to say. Let's talk about the fighters. For Stamann Blackshear, good to see him back on track after a 2-fight skid. as I said in the breakdown, that 2-fight skid was against 2 ranked guys, Mario Bautista and Montel Jackson. And the funny thing is, most people think he beat Mario Bautista. Seems like the running theme with Bautista lately. And Montel Jackson is really fucking good. And I swear, a lot of people just don't know that yet. Give it time. If he ever fucking fights, give it time. But yeah, Stamann back on track. He's really good. Like, I think he's in the same category of bantamweights as fucking Davy Grant, Chris Gutierrez, like where those guys have been for a while. He's really good. He's good enough to be top 20, top 25, but he's never going to be top 15. He doesn't have that skill. Again, a guy like Davy Grant that's been his fucking career. He's really good, but he's never been that guy. Damon Blackshear is really good, but I don't think he has the talents to be top 15. As the 3 guys he's lost to, a top 15 level guy, a top 15 guy, a top 15 guy. And if you look at the top 15, who do you really think he beats? Nobody. Like, so he's good. He's good. He's well-rounded. His striking's getting better, and his RV was pretty solid. We know his ground game's great. He has a fucking twister submission. His cardio's decent. Like, he's a really solid fighter, but at 135 you need to be a little better than solid. So he's okay. He's really just, like, at 135 he's just okay, but overall he's a really good fighter. He just doesn't have that thing to throw him over the top at bantamweight. Like, his striking ain't great enough, his ground game ain't great enough. There's better grapplers, there's better strikers. That's his problem, and we've seen that before be his problem. So he's found his fucking place. He's found his place. He's a solid top 20 to 25 dude with your Chris Gutierrez's and your David Grant's. So that's not a bad place to be. Again, David Grant's been in the UFC for fucking ever, and that's been his whole career. He ain't complaining. So it's that simple. It's truly that fucking simple. So he's really good, but you need a little more than that at 135. So I don't know. I hate when it's simplified to that extent, but it is that simple. So yeah, still a really good win for Stamann. And then talking about Stamann, I don't got much to say. I said pretty much what I had to say in the breakdown. He sucks against wrestlers, especially the ones that have striking. Who's the best wrestler he's beat? I don't even know the answer to that question, because every time he fights someone who has a ground game, he has lost. Sterling, Merab, Saeed, Stamann. So all he can do is wrestle. He can't strike. I don't care that he knocked out Eddie Wineland. 10 years past when that would have been cool. His cardio ain't great. His chin ain't great. He's 35 years old as of today. It's time to cut him. He's 7-8. He is still. I thought he was 7-7 going into the fight. I guess I was wrong. He's not that good anymore. He never was good to begin with, but let alone anymore. And I just don't see a point of keeping him around. The dude's 2-6 in his last 8. His last 2 wins were Eddie Wineland and Luana. A retired fighter and a dude who hasn't fought since the guy he just lost to beat him. So I don't know what else to really say. It's time to cut Stamann. Time to learn PFL, buddy. But he's perfect for PFL, an older bantamweight who people have heard of but really don't care about watching because no one wants to watch him and no one wants to watch PFL. So it's actually perfect. He'll probably go win a fucking championship there because no one's actually good there. So neither is Stamann, so it'd be a match made in heaven. So yeah, time to cut him. 35 years old. Bye. See, 2-6 in your last 8, you're getting cut. Besides that, not really much else to say. Besides, who should they fight next? For Stamann, after getting back on track, there's a lot of options for him, a lot of good options for him. Brady Houston would be a good fight. They tried to book that in the past, that fell through. Daniel Santos would be a really fun fight. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Him and Raul would be a fun fight, but I don't think they do that. Castaneda, Silva de Andrade. I don't love it. And then, I don't know, he shouldn't fight Lappy lose. He could fight Henry, but I feel like that's, like, I don't really see the point. Simone, I don't see the point. So, I don't mind him versus Daniel Santos. I think that's a very intriguing fight. Santos, we've not seen in a while. Stamann isn't, he's not the most active, but he is, like, at times he's really active. I'm down to see this fight, or I'm down to see this rebooked, so either one of these two I think is the best option, because outside of that, Douglas Silva de Andrade is okay. Like, that'd be a fun fight, but I don't know. I think there's better fights for the, like, I'm more intrigued with these two. So, and I'm leaning more towards this. So, yeah, Stamann and Daniel Santos, I think that's a fun fight. Santos 2 wins in a row. Stamann just got back on track. I think it makes sense. Santos, Blackshear, I'm down to see it. So let's see it. Got my pick. Not really sure what else to say there. Stamann, get cut. Blackshear, fight Santos, or Houston. Either way would be cool. And yeah, that's that. Not very much else to say. Good quick fight. Good quick finish for Blackshear. Sending Stamann out to UFC. And who should they fight next? I like Stamann Blackshear versus Daniel Santos. There's other options you could do for Stamann, but I think that Daniel Santos fight's a fun one. So let's see it. I think that's an interesting fight. Again, we haven't seen Santos in a minute, so I think Stamann would be a good fight to come back with. So let's see it. Not very much else to say. Good one for Stamann. Bye-bye, Cody Stamann. And, yeah, the Monster's back after a 2-fight skid to get his first bonus in a while. That I could have ended a lot better than that, but good win for Stamann Blackshear. There you go. Speaking of good, quick wins, we continue the theme of first-round finishes with our 4th fight of the night. Excuse me. Heading to the welterweight division for a fight that was the quickest so far, and the quickest fight of the night in general, as we head to welterweight for our first of 2 fights back-to-back in that division, as we have Charles Radtke versus Matthew Semelsberger. Not a lot to say here. 51 seconds. What can I really say? They started the fight. They threw some shots. Eventually, Radtke landed a nice shot that hurt Semelsberger. He swarmed him. He hurt him bad. Dropped him, and it was over. Questionable stoppage, but it looked like it was going to be over either way. So, not really much else to say. It seemed like the fight was going to be over either way. He's just going to take more damage if the ref didn't stop it. So, good job by, I believe it's Jason Herzog, right? Oh, Kerry Hatley. Yeah, good stoppage in a way, because he was out. Like, his equilibrium was fucked. His hands were fucking barely blocking. Like, yeah, you could have let it go on, but you were just let this man take more unnecessary damage, so. Good quick win for Radtke, good quick stoppage, and, fuck, the finishes keep coming, and they keep getting faster somehow, so. Yeah, not really much to say about a 51-second fight. Trying to extend the time here would just be stupid, so let's get into the fighters. Can't really add anything else. For Radtke, not much to say. 3-1 now in the UFC. The dude's good. He is good. Like, I get his wins are not fucking amazing. Blood Diamond, who's ass. Gilbert Urbina, who's not great. And Matthew Semelsberger, who kind of just seems like a broken fighter at this point. It's not the most stacked wins in the UFC, but he's shown he can beat the lesser opponents. Same thing I said with Tresean Gore, same thing I said with Melissa Mullins. You're showing you can beat the lesser opponents, which is always a good thing to show. And unlike a few of those fighters, and a lot of fighters at this point in the UFC, he can at least look decent beating those lesser fighters. He looked great in this fight. He looked decent against Urbina. So, he, like, I'm not sure. He has really good power in his hands. He's a really good striker. We know he has a decent ground game. Like, his only loss is to Carlos Prates, who I'll rave about in the main event. So there's not really much I can say about Radtke. He looked great here. We didn't learn anything new about him. We knew he had power in his hands. We knew he was a decent fighter, and he's like, I would say, a top 40, 45 level fighter at welterweight. Like, no, I don't think he's gonna beat anyone that great, but I do think he can upset a big name or two. Like, just off the top of my head, fuck, I'll take him to beat Ponzinibbio. I like, right now, and I say Ponzinibbio because he just got a fight booked today. So, he was on the top of mine. I would take Radtke to win that fight at this point. So, he's able to win these fights. He's not terrible. And I think he's not a bad fighter. Again, he has really good power in his hands. He's a really good striker. He has good ground game. His cardio's okay. He's really solid. Not really much else I can add. Really good win here. Gets his first bonus in the UFC. Now, it took 51 seconds. Good work, Radtke. About all I got to talk about Matthew Semelsberger. I continuously say, I said this in a breakdown, I've said this in many breakdowns, and every time I talk about Semelsberger, I think this dude has talent. He has bombs in his hands. He's looked amazing at times. But then he doesn't. He's inconsistent as fuck. He'll look fantastic against Jake Matthews, then turn around and look shitty against Preston Parsons. Huh? Nick, I don't get it. Yes, I think he got robbed against Wells. That still doesn't excuse a 3-fight losing streak afterward. So, he just seems like a broken fighter at this point. Like, he looked kind of mentally defeated against Parsons. He looked mentally defeated here. Like, he just looks like a broken fighter. And it's hard to not cut him at this point. I thought he was already, like, on death's door with Parsons. I thought he already was cut after that fight. But they gave him another chance, and he looked worse. Like, he's a dude who's a lot better than his record is, in my opinion, but he hasn't been able to prove that to be true. So, I like Semelsberger. I think he's a talented fighter. Wherever he goes, he's probably going to go win some fights. But he just is not consistent. Mental issue, skill issue, I don't know. He should be better than his record. He should not be on the chopping block. He's only 31. But it is just, how do you not cut him? So, I like Semelsberger. He's a talented fighter in my opinion. But how do you not cut him? That's all I can really say. I can't really say anything else besides that. Just disappointing. Dude's talented. Inconsistency kills, man. But the only thing I'll say now is, who should they fight next? For Charlie Radtke, there's a lot of options. Welterweight's just full of fucking fighters. I don't know, like, maybe someone on this first page, but, like, who? Leech. Phil Rowe's kind of been falling off, but I don't know if they do that fight. You know, Jeremiah Wells wouldn't be terrible. D-Rod, and no. Morono, and I don't think he's got that level fight yet. Nico, no. Like, and obviously none of these options. I don't mind a Jeremiah Wells fight, another dude who's kind of lost a lot of stock lately. Because outside of that, who do you... Court McGee, why? Kevin Jusay, I was gonna say if they want to build him up, but that's not... Radtke's not the dude you pick for that. Tim Means, why? Patterson or Danny Barlow, again, not the type of dude you pick if you want to get an easy win. And then you're just getting to fucking cans. So, I don't mind a Jeremiah Wells fight. I think that'd be really fun. Billy Golf would be a really fun fight, but it really makes sense to fight backwards. Yeah, I like that Jeremiah Wells fight. I know, like, again, a dude who's kind of lost a lot of stock lately, 2 L's in a row. I'm down to see it. Charles Radtke, Jeremiah Wells. Maybe I'll find something better tomorrow when I really do fight ideas, but for right now, I like that idea. Sounds good to me. Let's do it. Not really much else to say. Great one for Charles Radtke. Flawless victory. Outside of eating a head kick like 7 seconds in, there's not really any problems he had. And, yeah, outside of that, great win for Radtke. Can't do much better than a 51-second knockout. And who should he fight next? Him and Jeremiah Wells in an interesting fight. I'd be down to see that. So, let's see it. Not very much else to say. Radtke and Wells, book it. Semelsberger. You have talent, man. Yeah, you have the talent. Just couldn't put it together. Good one for Radtke. Quickest of the night. After that, we had to our 5th fight of the night, and staying in the welterweight division for another first round knockout that was as quick as possible. Fucking still another fight that was under 90 seconds. With what, 2 in a row now, 3 overall. And then our 5th fight of the night in the welterweight division, we had another quick finish, and our last quick finish of the card to the main of the prelims to the main card, my bad, as we had Elizeu, I never learned how to say that, Zaleski dos Santos versus Zach Scroggin. I'm not gonna waste your time here. One dude is a veteran and still really good. The other dude had no business being in there. Zaleski fucking kicked him a few times, eventually landed a bomb. I think it was what did they say? I think it was a right hand? A left hand? I don't remember. A big shot, dropped him, ground and pound, over. I'm not gonna waste a lot of time here, there's not much to say. For Scroggin, he had no business being in here with a guy like Zaleski. Is he any good? I don't know. If he gets another UFC fight, we'll figure that out, because, again, he had no chance in this fight. He goes to a good gym. The Tresean gym's a really good one. Outside of that, let's see how he does on a full camp versus a lesser fighter, because he had no chance in this one. And for Zaleski, what can I tell you don't already know? He's really fucking good. Yes, he's 37 years old. Yes, he is still he's still very good. He's still a top 20, 25 welterweight. Like, he's a problem on a full camp. Imagine fighting him on no camp, on days notice. You had no chance. Zaleski is legit, man. He's been legit for years. He is still one of the best. And 37 years old, still a fucking beast, man. Like, if I have to tell you Zaleski is legit, you clearly have not been watching. Yeah, not the fanciest record lately, but in every one of his fights, he's putting up a fight. You'll never see him get walked through, because he's better than that, so, yeah. Not very much else to say. We knew he was gonna just walk through this poor kid, and he did. He's still that guy. So, yeah. Pretty fucking simple. Outside of that, I guess the only thing left to say now is who should he fight next? For Zaleski, since he really didn't move up or down any rankings, might as well we rebook the Dalby rematch. They're both older dudes. They're both fucking kind of in the same position right now. I'm down to see it. I'm not really sure who else he would fight. Chaos Williams. He already fought Renat. Neil Magny should take some time off, even though I would be down to see this. Zaleski and Magny would be cool, but I don't know if they do that fight. Matthews, Bonfim, no. So it's already Dalby, Chaos, or Magny, and I would say take some time off. I don't know what they're going to do with Chaos. I'm down to see him get rebooked with Dalby. I think it's a good fight. Cool rematch. I don't see why not do it. I don't see why not. So, rebook it. I guarantee you Dalby will be down. I guarantee you Zaleski will be down. A rematch of Zaleski's UFC debut. where he lost. Let's get rebooked. Dalby, Zaleski 2. Rebook it. Pretty simple. Not very much else to say. Good quick one for Zaleski, as expected. Again, this poor Scroggins kid had no business being in here with Zaleski. Respect for stepping in, but you've had no fucking chance. Great win for Zaleski. Well, not really. Quick win for Zaleski. There, yeah, that's more like it. And who should he fight next? I say rebook the Dalby fight. It's a good fight. They're both older, but they're still really good. I'm down to see it. Book it. Scroggins, heal up. Let's see you on a full camp. Not very much else to say. See, Zaleski still got it, because he never lost it. Simple. And there's just no point to waste time on that. on either of these, and so I tried not to. Time for our featured prelim, which I wish I didn't waste time on, because this was easily the worst fight of the night. Which I guess ain't, when every fight was pretty good, I guess that's not the worst thing in the world. And then our featured prelim in the strawweight division, we had Denise Gomes versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Yeah, this fight was bad. I forgot I had this fucking open still. Let's look at these scorecards, some we've not seen in a while. It was not a good fight. It was slow. It was mainly just hugging on the cage. Around the first 10 minutes, Karolina just had nothing for Denise. It was pretty much just Denise doing whatever she wanted, bullying her on the cage, better strikes landed. Round 3, Karolina came out, looked pretty good. Like, got a takedown, landed some nice shots, etc., etc. But it was too little too late. 29-28 Gomes, how I scored. I think most people would score that way. Yeah. It's pretty simple. Slow, not a great fight. Easy win for Gomes, but it was not very impressive and not very exciting. So, yeah. A win's a win, but you should look better versus a 39-year-old as a minus 520 favorite. So, yeah, worst fight of the night, but what can you do? And not every fight is going to be a banger. That'd just be asking for too much after a while. So, take what you can get, and what we got here was not a great fight. Besides that, not very much else to say about the fight. Slow, not exciting, boring. So, let's get into the fighters real quick. Not much to say about Denise. She's a talented fighter, but she somehow doesn't look it half the time. If she can't drop you for power, then she just really doesn't do a lot. Like, if she's not knocking you out for power, like, yeah, she can grapple. Her cardio kind of sucks. Her fight IQ's okay. But, like, if she's not knocking you out, then there's just not a lot in her game and her repertoire. Like, but she didn't land many good shots on Karolina. She landed a few, but they were not even really on the chin, they were on the fucking head area. So, I very disappointing performance from Gomes. Somehow her easiest win of the 4 was her weakest performance. So, I said she shouldn't have been a minus 520 favorite. I said she should have been a smaller favorite, because she did not look like a giant favorite here. Like, she looked like a minus fucking 1. Sorry. She looked like a minus 180. And then she's lucky she got the first 2 rounds, because she clearly lost round 3, so I just really don't know what to say. She did not look impressive here. She looked underwhelming. There you go, underwhelming. That's a perfect word for her. Under-fucking-whelming. Should have looked better versus a 39-year-old. So, she didn't look bad. I don't want to make that statement, but she has not looked great. So, yeah. Not very much else to say. And then for Karolina, what do you want me to say? She should retire. She's gonna be 40 next October. She's on a 2-fight skid now. She's not getting younger, she's just getting slower. And she even, like, yeah, I get she had a nice little winning streak. Not a hard winning streak. You should beat Felicia Herring and Diana Belbita. These are nice wins, but, like, really. So, it's time to retire. Like, if you want one more fight, cool. But you gotta retire after that. Like, what? Like, you don't have it anymore. You haven't had it since fucking 2017, 2018, so, yeah. I just don't really know what else you want me to say. She's an OG, but it's time to retire OG. Besides that, I guess the only thing left to say is, who should they fight next? For Denise Gomes, does she get that ranking fight? Because Karolina was not ranked anymore. I forgot about that. I forgot they took her out for someone else. So now what for Denise? I don't know. I truly don't know. Like, who does she fight? Like, Tisha? I guess. Like, she already fought Angie. Says you can't do that. Like, it doesn't make sense to fight a Morim. She already fought Luma. Catelyn, I don't really think makes a lot of sense. Why would you fight backwards? So, Tisha? Again, I forget why I said Tisha should fight. Oh, yeah, Luma deserves that fight more. I don't really know. I truly don't know what you do with Denise. So, she's kind of in a fucking pickle here, so I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see, man. Like, again, Tisha's probably the best fight I see, because outside of that, what, are you gonna give her fucking loopy? Well, maybe. I don't know. Denise is interesting, in a weird spot, so we'll see what they do. And then for Karolina, I don't know. I have no idea who she fights in a retirement fight, if she fucking does that. Like, she is really known as old as her outside of Angie, and why would the fuck would Angie fight her? So, we'll see. Both of these two are in weird fucking spots right now, so we'll see what they do. We'll see what they fucking do next. It's gonna be interesting. But other than that, pretty lame fight. Easily the worst fight on the night. And who should they fight next? For Gomes, I really don't know. Tisha Pennington, maybe? And for Karolina, retire. You're 39 years old, and you don't got it anymore. You haven't had it in years, so you've been an OG. Well, it's time to hang them up. Bad fight, slow fight, and both are in weird positions that I don't know who they fight next, so yeah. Not really much else to say. A weird fight all around. But yeah, not really much else to say about the prelims. First 5 fights, great. Last fight, not so great, but one bad fight does not spoil the batch. Still had 5 great fights, so I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. And now we go into the main card. So, prelims done. We got 5 more fights, 53.5 minutes in. Let's not waste any time, and let's get into this. You ready? I am. Let's do it. As we begin the main card in the middleweight division with a fight between Mansur Abdul-Malik versus Duško Todorović. Yeah, not much to say here. Like, this was just a fucking ass beating. Like, fun way to open the main card. Really fun way to open the main card. But yeah, Mansur just kicked his ass for 2.5 minutes. like, he dropped him 2-3 times, beat the shit out of him. Fucking, he beat him so bad, he fucking gave him a hematoma above his right eye, Joanna style. This was just a beating all around, and a great debut. That's how you make a fucking debut. He can't really have a much better debut than this, running through at this point, a veteran and fucking Duško in fucking 2.5 minutes is pretty impressive, so. Oh, sorry. He looked great. Can't have a much better debut than that. So. Not very much else to say. Another quick knockout. Not a lot. Another quick recap of the fight. So let's get into the fighters. For Mansur Abdul-Malik, again, as I've said 100 times at this point, can't have a much better debut. He ran through Duško like it was nothing, and he's looking every bit of that great prospect he looked on a Contender Series. We still have questions about him, at least I do. His cardio, we did see him go into round 2, but how does he look past that round? We were not seeing him take a good shot yet. So there's definitely questions. How's his durability? How does he take damage? We'll see. But in this fight, we didn't need to see that, so let's see what this kid can really do. He seems like a really good prospect. He's very young still, 27 years old, 7-0. Let's see what this dude can do, man. He's good. He is a fucking problem. If his cardio ain't a problem and he fucking has a good chin and durability, he's gonna be a problem. So, looks like we've got a good one off Contender Series. I think this was our second Contender Series debut of this year, and it passed with flying colors. Good job, Mansur. And then for Duško, not much to say. It's Duško. He's trash. He's made out of paper mache, and yeah, not a really fun return fight after blowing your knee out. So, yeah, not much to say. He's 3-5 now. Really should be 3-4-1. If you want to give him another fight, cool. If you don't, cool. Like, if you cut him, no one would care. It'd be understandable. I'd give him another fight, since I don't really look at that CLD fight as a loss. But if they do and they want to cut him, I'm not going to complain. So, whatever. Duško, he's a fun fighter. Either he's getting knocked out or he's knocking someone out, and usually it's the first one. So, at least he has that under his belt. Don't got much else. So, yeah. Not very much else to say. Duško, you were a really good cannon fodder here. He made the kid look really fucking good. Besides that, not very much else to say about the fight nor fighters, so let's get into the final part for the fight ideas. For Mansur, obviously you don't throw him into the Shark Tank right away on his second fight. You still give him a more lenient fight, if that's the right term you want to use. It's kind of the same guys you were looking at for Tresean Gore, like you're fucking, but I'd say a little bit better. Like you don't go as bad as a Buasaitar, but you can look at like Ihor Potieria, Julian Marquez, Cody Brundage, you know, that kind of seems like a step backwards almost. Ismail Nurdiev, but that kind of fucks over Nurdiev. Armin would be decent, but I don't know if you do that fight. Yeah, I think this is like too high for fucking Mansur. So, yeah, him and Ihor would be decent. Him and Marquez would be fun if Marquez is still on a roster. So, there's options. There's many options for the dude. I'm just not, like, middleweight's such a weird division, man. There's talent and there's not at the same time. So, maybe just wait for a fight to open up, but there's options for him. I'm just not seeing anyone jump out the page, so we'll see. Maybe they, like, fucking him and Bruno Fierro would be mental, but you don't do that yet, so I don't know. I'm intrigued. I think this kid's really good, and we'll see what he can do, and then let's step up in competition. And then no fight idea for Duško, because I don't care. Either he gets cut or he gets fed to another young guy, so it don't really bother me either way, so yeah. Besides that, great way to open the main card. Great debut by Mansur Abdul-Malik. And who should he fight next? Not really sure. Ihor Potieria? Question mark? We'll see. I'll try and look better tomorrow. Just I could not really find anyone off a quick look here. So maybe they'll pop out tomorrow, but as of right now, I didn't see much, so. Either way, great debut for Malik. Running through a guy like Duško, impressive to an extent, and yeah, great debut. Great look for the Contender Series and their second fighter of the season. That didn't stand for long, only about an hour. So we'll get to that later. But yeah, aside that, good win from Mansur. Great debut, and kid looks good. After that, we go to our second fight of the main card in the women's strawweight division. Our first ranked battle of the night of only two. As in our second fight of the main card in the strawweight division, we had Gillian Robertson versus Luana Pinheiro. Another decision. I'm shocked. On this card, I'm almost shocked to see those. But this was way better than the Gomes fight. The long and short of it, round 1 and 3, Gillian just took Luana down and beat her up. Round 2, Luana had a really good round, landed the better shots, but it was a lot of too little, too late. I'm trying to get to the scorecard. There we go. It was she took round 2, but it was not really enough to win, and Gillian got a clear 29-28, or a fucking 29-27, which I could see, but I don't really agree with. So, either way, got the win, clearly took the first and third. That's all you need. So, yeah, pretty simple fight, not very complex. Either Gillian beat her up on the ground for 10 minutes, or Luana landed the better shots in round 2. As simple as it gets, really. So, yeah, not really much else to say. I'll talk about Gillian first, as we get into the fighter portion, and there's not very much to say. She's really good, 3 in a row now. She's really making a name for herself, man. Fucking 5-1 her last 6. Her only loss to Ricci, who's fighting in a goddamn co-main in 2 weeks. Gillian's good, man. Gillian's good. She's not even 30 yet. Like, she's making a name for herself. Yeah, she still can't strike for shit, but you don't need to. She hasn't fucking needed to. Like, yeah, you should have got a finish here. Like, Luana Pinheiro was finished by Angela Hill, let alone by submission. Angela Hill, not a finisher, not a submission specialist. So you let Angie outdo you there. But outside of that, Gillian looked great. 3 in a row, the best winning streak, the longest and best winning streak for her career. And now I say she deserves a top 10 fight or close to it. She's looked great in these 3 wins. Like, dominating Polyana, which, yeah, Polly sucks, but still, it's a win. Michelle Watterson, in a retirement fight, looked good. And Luana, she just beat someone who at one point was a prospect, and now it's a joke. So, is this the strongest winning streak? No, 3 pretty bad fighters. But, she got it done in dominant fashion. None of them were close fights, so what can you really say? Gillian, 29 years old, 3 in a row now. Let's see what she can do. Let's see how she does against a higher level opponent. She deserves a top 10 fight. Let's see if she gets that. Not very much else to say. Gillian is on a roll right now. To talk about her opponent, Luana, there's not much to say. It's time to get cut. She's fucking terrible. I was not the first, but I feel like I was one of the first people to call out her bullshit fucking ranking. How are you ranked for 3 wins against terrible fighters and you look terrible in those fights? So I really don't get it. I don't get it. And I was proven right very quickly when she started fighting legit fighters. Hivas KO'd her, Angie destroyed her, Gillian destroyed her. Just like her boyfriend Nicolau. Time to get cut, Pinheiro. She's just a fucking model. She can't fight. So that's she can strike. She's a good striker. Everything else, she has no heart, No ground game. No cardio. It's time to get cut. UFC wanted you to be good, but you just ain't. Sorry. Actually, I don't care. Bye, bitch. Last thing I have to say now is, who should I fight next? For Joe Rob. First time using this completely for a fight. You got options. You got, I say, 3 options. Angie, Loopy, and Marina. I like all 3. I just don't know which one you do. Because if you do Marina, who the fuck do these 2 fight each other? Like, Angie wants to get a fight already. She's been calling for a fight. Loopy already fought Angie. But if you do like, cause I could see Denise fighting Loopy. So it's a weird fucking situation. I might go, I don't mind Joe Robin Loopy, but at the same time, Joe Robin, I think she deserves a better fight than that. But if you do Marina, then again, what the fuck do these 2 do? Because if Gillian fights Loopy, Angie can fight Marina. So I might go Loopy. I think that's a good fight. It's a very intriguing fight. I know that much. I'm down to see it. I don't think Loopy has a fight right now. I don't know who it would even be against. They're both grapplers with lackluster striking. I'm down to see it. Let's Joe Rob Loopy. I say book it. But if you want to do Gillian and Marina, I'm down for that also. So either one, these 2 sounds good to me. Let's get it booked. Not very much else to say there. It's pretty simple. It's just a big clusterfuck right now in these bottom rankings with all of this movement. So we'll see what they do, though. We'll see what they do. I'm intrigued, and we'll see what happens. So, not very much else to say. Good one for Gillian Robertson, continuing her hot streak right now 3 in a row. And who should she fight next? Either Marina Rodriguez or Lupi Godinez. Either one I like. I just don't know which one is the right option. UFC will decide that when they decide that. Or again, she could fight Angie and have Lupi fight Marina, but why you're fighting one ranking up again? Yeah, it's gonna be a long climb to the top of the division if you fight the person in front of you every time. So good luck with that. But I would say Marina or Lupi's to fight for Joe Rob. So we'll see if the UFC agrees, and we'll see who she fights. So yeah, and then Pinheiro, see you in Invicta, PFL, OnlyFans, whichever one. I don't care. Good one for Joe Rob, 3 in a row now, and let's see how she does the entire level competition. Either Loopy or Marina. 2 fights. I might pick her, to be honest. So, yeah. Not very much else to say. The Savage gets her 3rd win in a row. After that, we get to our 3rd fight of the main card. A fight that was moved up to the main card after losing Ricky Torcios and Bernardo Sopai. So, that's the only fight that moved on the card. That's why it was not in the prelims. As in our 3rd fight of the main card in the bantamweight division, we had Gaston Bolaños versus Cortavious Romious. Great fight. My pick for 5 of the night if they did give out a 5 of the night bonus. This fight was great. And I called it. So that's always makes it better. But yeah, this was a great fucking fight. In round, I don't know why I keep trying to fucking do backspace, that's not working. In round 1, it was a close round. Bolaños was doing really good work early, but late in the round, Romulus looked to have got a knockdown, but it might have just been a trip. Not 100% sure, hard to call. I gave Romulus round 1 off that, but clearly all the judges saw it as a trip. Round 2 was definitely the best round for Bolaños. He just beat the shit out of Romulus. Yeah, he got stuck in a fucking body triangle for a few minutes, but no damage was done. And then he beat him up. I don't think a 10-8. I think that's a little insane, but I do think he won that round. I had it 1-1, but if you had 2-0, that's fine. And then in round 3, they were both so tired that neither could really do anything. I think Bolaños did a little more. Judges agree, most people agree, and that was a win for Gaston Bolaños in a very sloppy but fun fight. I don't think 30-27 is right. I don't think Romious won a round if that's the first or third. But I think Bolaños was the better fighter here. I do think he deserved the win a little more. And he got it. So, as predicted, Gaston Bolaños, the only underdog on the card to win. And I predict him. He was my confident underdog pick. Syguła was just a fuck it, I don't care pick. So, I'm happy I got this right. I thought I just did not know what the betting odds saw, man. And it was definitely not an easy win. Don't get me wrong. Romious did make it a pressure-filled win, but Bolaños got done nonetheless in good fashion and a great fight. So I'll take it. Not very much else to say. Very fun fight. About really all I can say. So let's talk about the fighters. I'll start with Gaston, because they don't hit like Gaston. 2-1 now in the UFC. His 2 wins against 2 cans. Yeah, and then a loss to Marcus McGee's a loss to Marcus McGee. Gaston's a weird one. Like, he has talent, but he's only been fighting grapplers lately, and then the one striker he did fight was Marcus McGee. He is good, but I want to see him against a full-blown striker. We gotta get him away from grapplers. We need to see this dude fight a striker, because I think we've not really got to see his striking on full effect yet. Like, we get it, he can fight grapplers and win. He's done it twice now. His ground game is getting better, but still very lackluster. But that's not where his bread and butter is. His bread and butter is the striking. If we've not really got to see that. We've seen him stop takedowns a lot, which is cool, but like, I want to see him strike. So, but doing what has been working has got him to 2-1 record, so take what you can get. I think Bolaños is good, but I definitely think he has a ceiling. Do I think he can go much farther than where he already is? No. I think he's too green as a fighter at this point of his career, at this age, and at this division. Kind of same thing as a Blackshear. You gotta be at a certain level at bantamweight, and I don't think Bolaños is, or will be, but I do think he's a solid fighter. I feel like people wrote him off because Marcus McGee knocked him the fuck out. And people just forget Marcus McGee is amazing, so not really sure what else I can say. Like, I just feel like people forgot Bolaños is actually pretty good because he just lost one fight, so I don't know. Good win for Bolaños to get back on track. And again, can Ilia Toporia's twin please fight a striker already? Talk about, are you not entertained, Romulus? I still don't see what Dana saw in him. Like, yeah, the fight was great because Romulus just tried to cuddle him for fucking 15 minutes. Yeah, Romulus is not UFC level. His striking is not great. His chin is not great. His cardio is trash. His ground game's okay. He couldn't hold down a dude with barely any ground game. We know he has no chin because a guy who's not very good in Roman Tavares knocked him out. I just don't see what Dana saw in this dude. He's not that good. Like, I get he's young. I get he can be exciting. But, again, what do you really see in this dude's game as a positive? His grappling's okay? Like, outside that, fight IQ, striking, durability, etc., is just trash. So, like, I get he's inexperienced, but dude, like, he's just not that good. So, we'll give him a step down competition, depending on how he looks. If he can get a win, cool. If he can't, then cut him. He shouldn't be here to begin with. And one fight in, he has been proving me right from what I said before the fight, and now after, so I told you, I might be a moron, but I can fucking call a fighter. I can call a fight sometimes. A broken clock is right twice a day, and I was right here, so. I just saw Bolaños as a better fighter, and I was right. I'll take it. Outside of that, not very much else to say. Besides, who should they fight next? For Bolaños, again, I want to see him fight a striker. No grapplers. I want a full-blown, goddamn striker. Who should that be? I'm gonna try and find that the fuck out. Well, the bad thing, there's very few fucking full-blown strikers. Gillian? I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Cause Gillian's a fucking striker. But watch, he'd become a fucking grappler out of nowhere. God, there are so few fucking strikers in the UFC anymore. Alatung? Another guy I just gave a fight idea to. So, fuck. Quinones? I think he's a full-blown striker. Interesting. Yeah, Christian Quinones would be fun. Kazama? He's kind of a... Well, actually, no, he's not a striker. But yeah, I don't hate the guy. I think Quinones is a striker. I believe he is. Don't quote me on that. 3 submission wins. Yeah, he's a fucking striker. I'm down to see this fight. Quinones, Bolaños. That's the closest thing you'll probably get to a full-blown striker. Let's see it. I'm down to see it. And Romulus will probably get one of the, like, somehow find a guy who's worse than him to fight on. I don't know who that could be. They just cut Jake Hadley, so that's off the table. So, we'll see who they give Romulus. They're probably going to try and give him some that he can look good against, so Dana doesn't look stupid for signing him. And, besides that, not very much else to say. Good one for Bolaños, and a great fight. Again, my pick for fight of the night. I thought it was super low level, but it was exciting, and that's all I can ask for. So, aside of that, who should Bolaños fight next? Christian Quinones sounds like a fun fight. So, again, I want to see this dude fucking strike already. I'm tired of seeing him stop takedowns every 5 minutes. So, yeah. Aside of that, great fight, good win, underdog, baby. I called it. Dream killer. How about fucking favorite killer? Yeah. Now time for our co-main event of the evening. Y'all ain't gonna like, some of y'all might not like this one, cause I don't got a lot good to say here. As in our co-main event of the evening, we head to middleweight for a fight that was interesting on paper and weird in execution. As in our co-main event of the evening, we had Reinier de Ridder versus Gerald Meerschaert. Okay. For the fight overall, in round 1, GM3 was looking great. Easily winning the round until late in the round. He got clipped by an elbow and a left hook, which gave de Ridder the round. And round 2, GM3 dominated. Clear round for him. Clear 1-1 going into the third. And then both were dead tired. So de Ridder got on top, locked in an arm triangle. He was a little fresher and got the win. Okay. Where do I begin with this? Because I can't say much else about the fight. That was the fight. The only thing I can add to the fight is, without that lucky knockdown at the end of the first, GM3 was up 2-0 easily. So, and I'll even bring up the scorecard, because I just want... People only gave de Ridder round 1 because of the knockdown. Yeah, so he would have been down 2-0 if he didn't get that knockdown. Okay, I'm gonna click on his profile. Where this was a hyped up double champion from 1? This dude's terrible. Yeah, this guy's awful. This is the first fight I've ever seen of his, and he looked fucking terrible. He can't strike. His ground game's okay. His cardio's not good. He's just a grappler, and not even a good one. Like, I don't, like, what did y'all see in this dude? Like, he's, first of all, how bad is 1? I thought 1 was a respectable promotion. Clearly not. Second of all, again, what did y'all see in this dude? Like, for all these years? Because I've heard about the Ritter for a while now. This dude's terrible. Like, he's literally fucking awful. Like, and I don't have any bias. I picked him to win. Like, I did not give a fuck. Like, this is the first fight I've ever seen of him, and he looked terrible. Like, easily the worst, like, big signing debut of the year. Like, he would have been down 2-0 without a lucky knockdown. I see why they didn't give him a ranked fight. He would have lost. If you could stop his takedowns, you beat him easily. Like, if we just compare him to the rest of the middleweight division, like, of course, there's no point to waste time with Drake and Strickland. We already know they beat him. But we'll go from, like, the bottom to, like, I don't know, decent level. Pereira, he probably beats. Shara, debatable. Hernandez kills him. Hermanson probably kills him. Keep Costa, that's debatable. Deladze, debatable. Brandon Allen beats him. Cannonier probably beats him. Vittori probably beats him. And then everyone above Vittori beats him for sure. The only one you can debate is Izzy, and he probably has a good enough takedown defense to fucking survive. So, yeah, I'm not impressed with De Ridder at all. He looked terrible. Yeah, he got the win. But he was 1-1 going into the third. They were both dead tired. And it's GM3, a fucking journeyman gatekeeper. And not even a gatekeeper, because I mean you're in the rankings. A fucking guy who's just there gave a one champion a tough fight that he would have been winning without a lucky knockdown. I'm not impressed. I think, like... And I didn't even go into this fight with high expectations. I picked him to win by decision. I thought it'd be pretty boring. He somehow was lower than my expectations. Wow. Terrible debut. Terrible debut, and now the UFC has an interesting problem on their hands. Do you baby him and give him another unranked fight versus, I don't know, Rodolfo Vieira, a Jung Young Park, a fight that he could lose? Or do you give him a ranked fight where he definitely probably loses? It's a tough debate. I'm intrigued to see what they do, man. I'm intrigued. And for GM3, I'm not going to click on his profile. He did his job. He lost to the new dude, and that's it. Actually, he did his job too well because he made him look terrible. So, he fought the new dude when he was meant to just kind of fucking roll over for him. So, GM3, you never fail to be funny. So, heal up, come back, and yeah, you looked great. You were the better fighter in this fight by a mile, so good job for exposing this dude. That was really fucking funny. So, now I'm gonna bother you. Just enjoy some time off after you were fucking paid to make this dude look good, and you made yourself look good because you didn't make him look good at all. So, yeah, not very much else to say outside of that. So let's get to the fight idea. They're gonna give De Ridder a ranked fight. So the question is who? I think it's a pretty obvious choice. A guy who's pretty much a souped up GM3. I might take Hermanson in this fight, to be honest. Like, he's a better striker than De Ridder, and he can stop takedowns. He's a good grappler. I think this fight makes sense. I don't see them babying De Ridder. Like, they want to push this dude, especially since he is older. He's 34 years old. He doesn't have a lot of time on his side. So, I say let's see him fight fucking Joker Jack. Outside of that, who? Makes no sense. He would lose, and plus, why do that to Fluffy? He deserves better. Like, no one really cares about this. You could do this, but you're probably gonna have Costa fight Shara. So, it just makes sense to do fucking Jack Hermanson and De Ridder. Like, I don't really see them not giving him a ranked guy now. Like, who else would he fight? Jung Young Park, who he probably loses to. Rodolfo Vieira, who's an interesting matchup. Fucking Kevin Holland. What are you gonna fucking bring up Kevin Holland like always? So, I'm down to see De Ridder and Jack Hermansson. Outside of that, I don't really know who De Ridder can fight. Again, what, Kevin Holland? Like, even, I make that joke, they might literally do that. Holy shit. Either way, De Ridder and Jack Hermansson sounds like the logical fight to me. Let's see, maybe it was a fucking debut thing. I doubt it. I think this dude sucks. But I guess we only have one way to find out, so let's see, man. Let's see. Then GM3, just heal up and relax. You deserve it after exposing this dude. So, yeah. Besides that, not very much else to say. I think De Ridder looked terrible. So let's see him fight Joker Jack. You're not gonna half-ass your way through that fight. Joe Pyfer couldn't. You won't. Let's see what De Ridder can do in the rankings. Hermansson, Ridder, book it. Terrible debut. And now, time for the main event of the evening. The last fight in the Apex till 2025. It's funny, UFC Vegas 1 had a welterweight main event between Tyron Woodley and Gilbert Burns. And UFC Vegas 100 ends with a welterweight main event between Carlos Prates versus Neil Magny. Well, yeah, Neil was just cannon fodder. This was just sad. Like, they did a little bit of fighting. It was pretty even for most of the round, and then Prates hurt him for the first time, and then it was over. He chased him around the cage. Eventually, he landed a left hook that glazed fucking Neil's head, and glazed, same fucking thing, and Neil just went plop on the ground. Think of Elvis Brenner versus Keon Khrushchevsky. It's the exact same knockout, just a grazing shot that boinks off your head, kills your equilibrium, and that's that. Yeah, what can I say about Prates? This dude's fucking great. He just killed a fucking OG like Neil Magny in round 1 like it was nothing. Good shit, dude. Good shit. Fun main event. Always good to end the night on a knockout. And yeah, Prates is legit. Not very much to say about the fight. 4.5 minutes. Well, pretty much a 5-minute fight. And Prates killed him and won. And he stuffed a few takedowns. He got taken down, he got up. So he did show that in his ground game. So, kid's legit. He's a legit fucking problem. Great fucking main event, man. Not very much else I can say. I think I talked about the knockout. It's great. Just great all around. And speaking of great, now let's talk about the fighters real quick. Carlos Prates. Yeah, this dude's legit. 4-0 now. All in 2024, which I didn't know. I thought he debuted last year. The Rookie of the Year. Easily Rookie of the Year. Like, the only fighter that I can think of that could make a debate is that Asakura kid if he beats Pantoja for the belt. Because you can make a debate winning the belt, 4-fight KO streak. Winning the belt trumps everything, I would hope. So, we'll see if that happens. But as of right now, Prates has to be Rookie of the Year. 4 KO wins from February to November. All got bonuses. And Radtke, Leach, and Magny are some pretty nice wins on your record. This dude's legit. He's, 31 years old. A great striker. His ground game looked fine. We don't know about his cardio, but when you don't need to use it, who cares? He's in the top 15 now. And he's gonna be a problem. Welterweight, you have another problem. Name is Carlos Prates. Add him to the list with fucking Shavkat, JDM, Buckley for some fucking reasons good at welterweight, fucking Michael Morales, Brian Battle, Okay, etc., etc. Prates is here. Y'all got a nerd on your hands. That's a fucking problem. Prates is good, man. Really good. And then for Magny, what the fuck can I say? The UFC tried to kill him, and they might have succeeded. Take some time off, Neil, please. Don't come back to like summer next year. Like, heal up, relax, and hopefully you can get a fair fight in your next one. Like, I'd be down to see him fight, as I said earlier, Zaleski, or fucking Chaos Williams would even be more like cool than this, because this was just not fair. Michael Morales and Carlos Prates was in the span of 2 months. You were never winning that. Ever. So, I feel bad for Neil. Dude's an OG. He is, 40? 37 years old. Take some time off and heal up. I would love to see him not fight a prospect for once. Again, Zaleski, or fucking Chaos Williams. Not Brian Battle, or goddamn, I don't even know. Fuck. The new hot commodity by fucking that time next year, so take some time off. I don't want to see Neil Magny fight news for a minute. This dude deserves a break. After what he saved, because I guarantee you, he did not have to take this fight. So, he saved this card. At what cost? So, heal up, Neil. Take some time off. Or you could retire. I'm okay with that option, but he could still fight. He's still a decent fighter. They just gave him 2 of the best fighters in the division back-to-back in 2 months. So, what do you want him to do? So, yeah, I feel bad. Heal up, and either you can retire if you want to, but most likely you'll be back, so just heal up and take some time off. Outside of that, not really much else to say. Only thing I have to say now is, who should they fight next? Carlos Prates, I don't know. So now he's ranked number 15. Luque is fighting in December. MVP has a fight booked. Morales, it's not that time for that. His options are Wonderboy, Geoff Neal, or Gilbert Burns. I don't think he's going to fight Gilbert. So it's a Neal or Wonderboy. Unless that MVP fight is Wonderboy, which I highly doubt it. I'm down to see Prates Wonderboy. I think that's a super intriguing fight, and I think it'd be a badass fight. Prates Wonderboy in fucking February in fucking Sydney. Sign me the fuck up. But Geoff Neal's also an option. Why Neal would take that fight instead of the clear Gilbert Burns fight, I don't know. But if he wants to take that risk, he can. It's probably more likely for a quick turnaround since him and Prates both were coming off quick knockouts. But I think the more interesting fight would be Wonderboy. But Wonderboy is not a big fan of fighting prospects. He did Ducky and Gary at one point. So, but he did fight Shavkat. So it's a weird contrast if you think about it. So, but yeah. Overall, I like the Wonderboy fight. I think it's a very interesting fight for Prates, and I think the best option, because it's that, Neal, or Burns, and I'll go Wonderboy. Unless he's fighting MVP, which I don't think. I think MVP has a fight booked, and I don't think Wonderboy's signing a contract that quickly, so let's see Prates and Wonderboy in February. Got my pick. And then for Neal, again, heal up, take some time off, and come back versus an older dude like a Chaos Williams or a Zaleski. So, yeah. Outside of that, not really much else to say. It's gonna be weird seeing Neil Magny not in the rankings. Like, he's been in the rankings for, like, my whole time watching the UFC. Like, he's been in the rankings for fucking ever. So, father time got to him, man. And so did Carlos Prates. So, great win for Prates in his first main event of probably many. And who should he fight next? I really like the idea of him and Wonderboy. I think that's a good fight. I think it'd be a really interesting fight. And yeah. That or in Joffney, either one's an interesting fight that I'm down to see, so let's see it. Out of that, great main event, great final fight in the Apex, and a very good high note to send it off on, even if it doesn't deserve it. So, yeah. Great main event, and the cigarette smoker killed him, man. So great win for Prates, man. He's legit. He's legit. As legit as me finally saying, boom. That was the card after an hour and a half. I told you I really enjoyed this card. To go over how I did on picks, I went 10 of 11 for a perfect 665. The only one I got wrong was bum-ass Syguła. Fuck you, young fucking model. The rest, perfect. Yes, I know mainly favorites won, but I did pick the only underdog on the card. Who was let me also just show. I think he's like 16% picked. Yeah. So, if it was all favorites, I could see saying it's not that impressive, but calling it a one underdog on the card, I'll take it. My best night of picks maybe all year, so I did amazing. I ended number 202 on Topology. I'll take it. So, yeah, I'm happy with it. Great night of picks for a great night of fights. The bonuses went to Carlos Prates, Mansur Abdul-Malik, Charles Radtke, and Blackshear. I would have swapped out Blackshear for Gore. I think his submission was a little better, but either way, I'm fine with it. Fino 5 of the night. I just give out a bunch of performance bonuses. It makes more sense than a 5 of the night. And, yeah. Besides that, the only thing left to say is, if you missed a card, what should you go back and rewatch? I guess the better way to put it is, what should you skip on a rewatch? And I would say Gomes and De Ridder. Actually, not even if you want to see De Ridder, then you can watch that. But if you know De Ridder before the UFC, then you can skip it, because it's his normal shitty performance, I'm guessing. So I would say Ridder and Gomes you can skip. Everything else I'd rewatch. The 5 finishes were dope. Mansur was great. Joe Rob looked good. Bolaños was a really good fight, and Prates was great. So at most skip 2 fights with Gomes and De Ridder. Everything else rewatch if you missed it. Just like you missed this intro, because there's no way you made it this deep in the video, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Or outro, I should say. So, yeah, finally, that's the card. I don't know what else I could say about it. I enjoyed it. It was really good. And, for the last dance in the Apex, it was fun. So, Apex, we'll see you in 2025 to begin the year. And, yeah. Outside of that, next week, we head to MSG for that clown show of a card. I'm not looking forward to it. I could care less. So, I really don't care. So, yeah, not really much else to say. You'll hear me break down that card Friday and recap it on Sunday. Maybe the recap, maybe if it sucks or it's too late, I'll push it to Monday or later on Sunday. So, yeah. Outside of that, not very much else to say. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of the year. Again, you'll hear from me again on Friday for 309. And after way too much rambling about an Apex card that was actually good, as always, RX out. Good vibes only and always.